Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. We are now on episode 6 of the series, and some major events we saw last episode were the French invasion of Iceland, the discovery of Greenland, and the French invasion of Rome, as well as the Swedish Revolution forming Sweden from the German colony of Scandinavia. And if you are enjoying the series, please like and subscribe. And yeah, okay. So we're gonna see this episode. First thing is gonna be Finland breaking away from Germany. I said last episode they would stay a part of it, but they don't because this makes them want to do this. Okay, so they are going to start to explore. They're going to discover the Kola Peninsula and also discover like this coast and explore and map that area. They're gonna fully discover the Kola Peninsula. It's gonna explore more of this area, which is actually relatively easy to explore. If I'm not mistaken, this is all like the European plain. But anyways, they are going to do that. And do that, maybe. Is that good? Okay. No, that does not look good. Okay, I'm gonna end up cutting that part out of the video because I was taking a while to draw those borders, but this is what Finland expands to look like. And then the Norwegians are going to actually, you know what? They will fully explore this area because why not? And because I just want to get rid of that big gray section. They will not claim any though yet. We see the French are going to explore a bit more of Greenland. Something like that. And then also explore a bit more down south. They will even make it to this southernmost point of Greenland. And they will expand their colony here. Just a little bit like that. And now we're actually going to see a new colony forming here. Now it is going to be a very small one. However, we do see this tiny little Scottish colony pop up here in Greenland. And this will inspire Ireland to do a bit of the same, forming a very small colony, actually bigger than Scotland's, but they're going to be doing that right there. And so, seeing this, Spain is going to realize they can do the same thing, and they're going to take a very large section of southern Greenland right here. So they now have the largest colony in Greenland. And so they want, and that's not enough for them. They want to expand their colony even more. They're going to continue to explore Greenland, reaching their explorations up to here. Something like that. Okay, and then they are going to expand their colony. that. Now, if they didn't already before, they now definitely have the biggest colony in Greenland. So that's it for Greenland for now. Actually gonna see Macedonia. We're gonna see Macedonia finally discover the UAE, and they're gonna be pretty mad about this, but they're up there and the UAE's down there, so they can't really do anything about that. And the UAE is also continuing their exploration in the Horn of Africa, like that. Also up this coast, like that. And so they are going to okay, let's fix up that border there. Like that. Okay, it's still not the greatest, but whatever. We see, so Bangladesh, they continue exploring, like, about that much, like that. And then we see a group of people from Bangladesh. They are going to migrate over to here and form the Indian nation. Okay, now like that. Like that. That's where India is going to form. And for their capital, they will have it right about there. They will be quick to expand these. Okay, like I said, they will be quick to expand these borders like that, like that, and also like that. Okay, so that's it for India right now. And we are going to see a rebellion in China. So as we know, Vietnam rebelled against China in episode 1 because they were being imperialistic, and they're still being imperialistic. So we are going to see a large rebellion forming up here in northern Japan. And they do end up. And then the same idea of independence pops up in more parts of Japan. However, they don't want to be a part of that country up there. They want to be their own country. And that idea will spread to all these parts. And then we are also going to see something like that, that colorish. Yeah. And they're going to form over here in Never Eat Soggy Waffles in Eastern Japan, getting over that much. And just as they're about to wipe China out of here, we see one final Japanese nation form right there. And then when we see We see this nation attempt to push China out. However, China will still hold a small foothold down there. So we are going to take a look at a peace treaty. Okay, so there is the peace treaty for this rebellion. And let me give all of these guys some capitals. So this one will have its capital right there. This one will have its capital right there. This one right there. And this one right there. So Japan is now divided among Hokkaido, four different little Japanese nations, and a tiny colony that China still holds onto. And then moving away from China and over to Vietnam, their Indian colony is going to continue. That's not right. It is going to that is still not right. That's not the layer I was on. Like, holy. They're going to continue expanding, now taking all of Sri Lanka and expanding their colony quite a bit upwards. Like that. So now I have a massive colony. We're actually going to see a war taking place for the final event of this video. And that is going to be the Roman invasion of Carthage. So, as I did hint at, I said because the Romans cannot expand anywhere else because they're the only country they share a border with is France and they're a lot stronger than them. This is their only option. So, they will immediately land taking these two major cities and encircling the capital, taking this major city that is right here. And then they will cut the country into two, like another naval landing over here, taking this major city and cutting the country into three. They quickly sweep over, taking these major cities, and the troops here just surrender. But then we actually see Spain join the war on the side of Carthage. And, Spain, if I'm not wrong, is indeed... Okay, so Spain is not stronger than Rome, never mind. But actually, at this point in time, they probably are, so I will redo power rankings after this. And because Rome still has a better military than Carthage, but Spain and Carthage combined, they just can't hold. So they're going to encircle these Roman troops and begin to take back this city. Also pushing them back down this thing, taking back this major city, and nearly taking this one back. And then from the other side, a huge naval battle will take place here with Carthage and Spain winning and taking control of this area. And so, now Spain will make a naval landing, and actually they will take the entirety of Sicily. Now they control the entire thing, and with Italy losing some of its naval access, that will allow them a naval landing over here, take back this city, and finally take this one back. When they take this major city back, that will be the um, they'll completely relieve Carthage. Then they will be pushing up into northern and southern Italy, taking that gotta be like 10 major cities, because when they lost all these major cities in the collapse of the empire, they kind of had to population densify. And now they don't have a dictator anymore, but they still have a king who is very dead set on survival of his nation and stuff like that. Enemies will slowly encircle the capital, take this major city until it falls, and this time they are not going to be treated so kindly. So, peace treaty. Okay, here is the peace treaty. I know what you're thinking. It looks bad, but just give me a second. So we see a Spanish colony set up here in Sicily, and we see a Carthaginian colony set up here. All this dark blue thing with the Carthage colored border, that's all a Carthaginian puppet state because they're getting pretty big and they don't want to experience instability and have something like this happen. Obviously, they don't know about this. They don't. They still got a lot of gray to go before they can know about that. But yeah. And then up here we see this city-state formed between these three major cities. A city-state formed with this major city, a city-state formed with this major city, and despite not fighting in the war, they needed another way to punish Italy, so they did give France quite a bit of land from Rome, and then Rome is reduced to just Rome. So that's kind of it. Rome really can't come back. But however, they are left with a little bit of coast, which, who knows? No, they're not coming back. But yeah, that's that. Um, and you know what? I guess I'll expand the Spanish colony before um, I'm done. So they are going to explore that much. And then they're also going to explore down this coast like that. And then they are going to take about that much. So Spain, they are really just trying to get from there all the way around the coast down to like there-ish. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. If you are enjoying, please like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. And yeah, I will see you in episode 7. Bye.